Hey everybody, it's Master Gallengeist here, bringing you my review of X-Men Apocalypse. So, overall I enjoyed this movie, but I really think there were some things that could have been done a lot better. It's not a travesty on the level of, X-Men The Last Stand. No. It's better than that, but there's still stuff that can be done better. I'd put it almost on par with Batman vs. Superman, but slightly better. So, it starts with kind of giving us background on Apocalypse. And it goes to Egypt, 3600 BC, and he's doing this transference ceremony, where he transfers his essence from one body to the next. And this is how he accrues more mutant powers. So, he transfers from his body to the next body, gains that power. This one is Oscar Isaac, and he's got this healing power and everything, so it would be really advantageous for him to have that kind of power. So, as this is going on, he's got his four horsemen kind of being his bodyguards and everything, and right as it's during the ceremony, while he's got this giant gold piece at the top of his pyramid, sun strikes it and starts the whole process. It's never really alluded to how he has this kind of technology or where it has come from, but it starts doing its thing, and the warrior caste decides this is their best shot to take him out. So they put in a series of events to collapse the pyramid, and the horsemen are trying to fight it off. You get to see some cool fire powers and telekinesis and all that, but the other two don't really have that interesting of powers, and it doesn't matter because they're given no characterization and killed pretty easily. They pretty much just save Apocalypse to being in stasis until the 1980s. So then it's cutting to Moira and the CIA. She's tracking a group that has started worshipping mutants ever since they've been shown to exist in the 1970s, with Magneto's pretty much attempt to assassinate the president and Mystique doing her thing as well. So they're worshipping Apocalypse because they found the pyramid that had collapsed and everything, and Moira went down into the hole, left it open, and the sun hit the pyramid thing, which happened to be there, and pretty much woke up Apocalypse. So his goal is to gather powerful mutants about him and gather more power and have the strong survive and the weak be washed away. So he first encounters Storm, is able to unlock her full potential and gain her as his first follower. And as this is going on, we get to see other kind of stuff like a Magneto who has gone underground and has a family and a daughter and everything. Everything's going alright until one of his coworkers pretty much makes a mistake in which they almost kill themselves. He saves them, and then the police come and are like, we're out to take you in. And then it upsets his daughter, whose mutant powers is control over animals, and they start freaking out, and one of them misfires and kills both of them. And Magneto goes on understandable rage mode. He kills them all. And I understand it. It's just kind of predictable at this point. You know what I mean? Granted, you need to move the characters out of there, but I understand his rage. And if you're like, well, he kind of went overboard. He kind of did, but it was kind of an emotional thing because he was trying to build a family and wasn't trying to hurt anybody, and these people went after him. He lived in that town for a while and did this, so he's about to take out all the people in the metal factory, and Apocalypse and the others that he has gathered. He gathers Angel, who was shown in a nice scene where he was fighting Nightcrawler because they were forced to fight. Mystique was able to set him free. He gathers Angel and makes him into Archangel. Changes his wings to metal and everything that he could shoot out, which was pretty cool. Still doesn't really have good amount of characterization. That's the kind of weakest thing of this movie, in that there's a lot of characters, but only a select couple of them have interesting characterization. Moira's got good characterization. Magneto's got good characterization. Storm gets a little bit more than most, but not enough to be fully satisfied. I liked her. I liked the new actress that they got for her for a young one. She did a very good job. And I'm excited to hopefully see her do other stuff in the new movies that they do with her, because she nails Storm very well, and I hope they do more with her. They had Psylocke, but again, didn't do much with her. They just showed off her powers and her skills, and that was about it. that's the kind of issue that happens with these ensembles, is that certain characters, well, not certain, a majority of the characters don't get enough characterization. Like, I thought Olivia Munn did a great job with what she was given. It's just they didn't do enough with her. And that kind of makes me sad. Psylocke's an interesting character in the comics and has an interesting power set, and you can do more with her. And then we are also seeing Charles and his great school that he's got, and of course we only get a certain amount. We get a good young Jean Grey, Cyclops, and then Nightcrawler kind of joins in, Mystique. All that kind of coalesces there. We don't really get much use out of the 80s scene. I like the kind of callback that they had taken Nightcrawler to the mall to show him what a mall was, but all they did was they went to see Return of the Jedi, and they kind of bashed on it, and like, Return of the Jedi's alright, it's good, man, why you gotta hate? And it's just like, okay, but that's it? But that's probably because most of it was probably cut because it's a long movie. And it's almost 2.5 hours, and there's even more stuff that I think could have been cut to kind of do better with the movie. Because there's a lot of the Apocalypse building my horseman set, and he goes after Charles because he can control people's minds and do all that kind of stuff. He's like, oh, my new body. And Havoc dies in this movie because after they kidnap Charles, he tries and use his powers to stop Apocalypse and hit something and pretty much blows up the mansion again. But then we get a really cool scene with Quicksilver as he saves all the people and throwing them out, and that was pretty cool. They did a great job with Quicksilver in Days of Futures Past, but they really just keep doing really good stuff with him in this, and I hope they continue to use him. So, then he's talking about using Magneto's powers to pretty much use all the metal and shake the earth and everything, storm with storms, use Psylocke and Angel to pretty much be the backup as he's trying to transfer his essence into Charles, which is how he gets Spalled, because as the transfer process is happening, and that's towards the end of the movie. They did have a scene where they went as the mansion was blown up, Stryker came in and pretty much took Beast and Mystique and Quicksilver and pretty much like the prominent ones, and then Jean Grey, Nightcrawler, and Cyclops snuck in, and that's where we get our Wolverine cameo, which was great to see, kind of feral Wolverine, and Wolverine's one of my favorite X-Men. I like him. Hugh Jackman does a great job as him. I'm glad we got him. In the context of this movie, it was weird to go to that place. It just was another stop that kind of takes you out of the narrative a little bit. Granted, they're trying to figure out what's going on with all these mutants and everything, but I'm always glad for an excuse for Wolverine. Now I just want Wolverine and Deadpool to frickin' get together. Comedy gold. Ooh. So, yeah, that's just my little Wolverine Deadpool rant because they're awesome. So, they get there, they get to the end scene, the New Mutants are kind of using their powers and everything to kind of fight everything, to get everything done. So, they interrupt the transference process, and they're able to get Magneto to stop being an asshole. And we did get Quicksilver to use his powers in a pretty interesting fight scene with Apocalypse. Didn't last too long, but it was really cool to see what he could do. And the way they defeat Apocalypse was, again, bringing up Jean Grey and the Phoenix Force. Now, I understand kind of why they have to go this route, that her full powers are actually the Phoenix Force, because if they went with the comics route, I don't think they've got the rights for the outer space part, because the Phoenix Force is usually an outer space parasitic entity that looks for a host. This is their only way to get the Phoenix Force without going, it's an alien thing, and make it into her full power, which she used to pretty much melt Apocalypse, and Magneto throwing metal and stuff at him, Cyclops blasting him, and Storm blasting him as well. I mean, it was cool he was a giant level threat that needed that kind of power to take him out, because the healing factor was a big thing to get through. And I liked it And I like that Charles undid his mind wipe of Moira, and they kind of got that. And we'll have to see where that goes, but I'm interested to see kind of where they put the new X-Men, because they all did a good job, but a lot of them around the mansion weren't given characterization, like Jubilee. They made a big deal about that. They didn't do shit with her. So overall, I enjoyed it, but weak characterization and the length of the time and the kind of where they chose to go kind of derailed the experience a little bit. But overall, I still enjoyed it. So those are my opinions on the movie. Tell me what you guys think in the comments below. If you liked it, if you didn't like it, if you agree with me, if you disagree with me. Also, like and subscribe, and I hope you have a good day.